Be good. Be very good.
I don't know if I can be very good. We were talking about how we grew up earlier, and I'm just like, I really want to go and steal pizza. I'm just kidding. Just- but we had so much fun. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. My name is Diamond. I am your host. I'm still on the pizza here, you guys. I am your host. This is Dream Chasers Radio. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. For so many years, you've been looking at this show. I hope you're inspired to go after your dreams, your goals, your visions, because the interviews that we have here is just that, just to inspire you to be the person that you've always seen yourself to be. And I hope that we're doing that here. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them wherever you may be watching. And that way we'll get back with you and make sure that we answer your questions, just like the person that we're interviewing today. I want to thank him for being on the show. It's Ralph Carrasco. And I hope I said that right, about Carrasco. I'm really bad. Is that like Italian? Is that Italian?
Uh, it's a Latin Hispanic last name,
Ah,
Carrasco.
Carrasco. I said it
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, you got it. We're
Yay!
good.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. This has been a long time coming for me, and so being able to share this time-space reality with you is pretty amazing.
Isn't that cool? Like we're
Yeah.
now a part of like each other's like timeline.
Exactly,
I
right?
love
Like
that. You
that's
know,
what it's all about.
that's right. That's right. That's what it's about. So tell me about yourself. I mean, most people say, okay, so what is it that makes you a dream chaser?
So for me, as we were just discussing a little bit ago, being a 75 kid, we just grew up different. We grew up in a very different time. We have a survival skill that I think that the generation now doesn't have because they don't need, because like everything is right there. But as we were talking about just, prior to everything, the fact that these young kids that are coming up don't know how to do anything. They don't even know how to get a party together, with payphones and pagers. They don't know how to hustle. They don't know how to grind. They don't really know how to like ultimately make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly why this show exists.
Exactly. And so for me, I joined the Navy in 1999 and I served for just shy of 11 years. So when I got out in 2010, early, I thought I was going to be an officer and, do 20, 25 years. But as with most things with the military, divorce didn't work. And for me, candidly, I needed to be dad first
Hmm.
because I'm a girl dad and
Oh,
we're wired a little different.
yeah.
And and from that point, knowing how like I grew up, knowing what I went through, and then being the grimy pirate that I was and am, I needed to help my daughters cut the learning curve. And so when I got out of the Navy in 2010, you know, I installed candidly two really strong directives in my subconscious after a night of some amazing Sailor Jerry rum and some really hot wings on my way out. And I have been candidly being able to fulfill that mission of number one, being the best father that I could be,
Hmm.
and number two, I don't know how, I don't know why, but in my mindset, because I was an electronics technician in the Navy, they called us everything technicians. For me, it was if I was going to get out early, I was going to develop skills, resources, and abilities to help my fellow veterans cut the learning curve. And it'll be 16 years in February, and I have had a really amazing journey, and it's been filled with a lot of laughs, a lot of gut wrenching, a lot of like, why are things like this? And ultimately, I'm just very thankful. I'm very thankful for 10 fingers and 10 toes and to be on the planet.
I hear that. I hear that. It's so funny because Generation X, that's who we are. We're Generation
Hmm.
X.
Yep.
Don't bother me, I don't bother you. We
Right.
are real fights, okay? We didn't have these social media fights. It was face to face. It was,
Yeah.
you were very inventive. We still are. Um, And being a girl dad, that's a big deal. You know, when we grew up, we were gone and no one knew where we were. There was the commercial, we were talking about that earlier. It's 10 p.m. Do you know where your kid is? I mean, literally, I saw that commercial when I was growing up. You know, be home when the sun hits the treetops, and like the street lights come on. You better be in the front of the building and
Right.
on your way up the stairs or whatever in front of the house. And wow, what a change. What a change. You know,
Huge.
okay, so I grew up with a working mother, and I think all of us pretty much grew up with the absentee parents. They had to go to work. There was no
Yep.
choice. Nowadays, you have other people in the children's lives, but back in the day, we really didn't have like child care. It was more like soccer practice after school.
Yeah. Latchkey kids, right?
Yeah,
You had the
I had the key
chain
around the
under
chain.
your
Yep. Yes, I did. I did. I had the key around the chain of my neck. I did. I did. I had that.
Yep.
And so my babysitter was my choir teacher after school for choir practice or, you know, cross country running or whatever I was doing for extracurricular activities. But when I got home, I was home alone. I think that I didn't want that for my kids. I think a lot of Generation X parents, when they became parents, became the parent that we idealized our parents should have been,
Mm-hmm.
but weren't. Was that something that you were doing?
100%.
Mm,
Because for me, it was about choice. And I wanted to make the choice to be in my daughter's lives.
hmm
Because candidly, if that doesn't happen, then the world takes hold of them. And
Yeah.
then from that point, they make decisions that they may or may not have made if, like my guy Wreck It Ralph, if I'm not standing there going, so what's going on? Where are we going? What are we doing? Because
What
I
you
know
doing?
the game,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know?
We played that game.
Yep.
We did.
And
We did. Real good.
yeah, and these kids that come through, they think they're slick. And
Ooh,
it's like, you don't know, young man.
you don't know slick.
Yeah, you don't know slick.
You
And
don't know. I bet.
so
Get rid of that phone and we'll show you some slick.
that's it. That's it, and ultimately that's what it all comes down to is
Mm,
that nonstop. I believe it's the drive inside of us, Generation X, where,
yeah.
like you said, I'll be cool with you if you be cool with me, right? Like,
Okay.
don't, yeah, and if I see you at a party or whatever else, and we got to say what we got to say, but then everyone's good after that,
Yeah, we're good.
you
Yep.
know? And
Mhm.
I have learned, though, a lot about women through being a girl dad. And it's very
I hope
interesting.
you're I hope you did. I hope you're still learning because
Oh,
men
yeah.
don't know. They don't know.
No,
They
they don't,
we
and
go
that's
through so much.
huge, huge way because ultimately, if you're making choices and I need to step in, well, you've heard me talk to you because we
Mhm.
got our butts whooped,
Ooh,
right? And I do it different to where I'm just like, hey, where are we at? Let's talk this through. Let me show you why. Let me show you, how. And that's one of the crazy things about the military is that they definitely train us to be trainers. And my wife and I, we talk about this all the time where, after 10, 11, 12 years old, you're not really parenting, you're coaching.
yeah. Yeah,
You're
you
you're
are.
helping, right? You're consulting.
Yeah.
Nobody, and especially these kids who have access to the world on
Everything.
their phone.
Everything on their phone.
And
Everything from learning all the way to learning.
mhm. And the crazy part is that I feel as though that if we're not present, we're not going to ever make changes as a society.
Yeah.
And ultimately, that's what I want to do with my time while I'm on the planet is, you know, have an impact, make real change, and then from that point watch people's transformations, which is that's the most amazing part, right? Is
Oh, it
is
is.
watching someone go through that transformation of growing and the depth and the knowledge, and then they come back and whether it's a compliment or they're trying to curse you out because they haven't come to the realization of what you really told them and they're just mad still, right?
Oh, I've been there, done that. Yes.
Right, you say something and it's with love and it's with honesty, but then they took it the way they take it, and you're just like, you don't have the ears to listen yet.
Yeah, you took that in the wrong way. Actually, I'm really concerned about you. I really want you to succeed, and
Mhm.
that's why I'm trying to kind of nudge you a little bit. But yeah, I got it. So, what was it that you picked up that you decided you wanted to do to actually contribute your life and what you have to offer to this world?
So that's really what all of this is for, and why I finally released my book in December of 2025.
Hmm.
You know, when I had that vision in my head of helping veterans cut the learning curve, candidly, because of what I did in the Navy, as Tomahawk tech support and being admiral staff, my ego wouldn't fit in a Costco. I had I had
Wow.
no business being an employee whatsoever. So, candidly, I purchased a franchise out the gate, and that was very helpful for me because I used it as an incubator
Hmm.
to learn about consumers, constantly asking the question, "Why?"
Mm.
It was an in-home service business, tile and grout, upholstery, and carpet cleaning,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
Men don't care about getting their carpets cleaned or their tile cleaned or their upholstery cleaned.
No, it's us. It's the women.
Right.
Yeah.
So 90% of my clients were mommies and females.
Mm.
And so I'm a big man, right? I'm 6 foot, 240, 50, 60. I mean, depending on the season, right? And so,
Thanksgiving.
yep. And so I had to be so cool with my energy that I would be in these homes for 3, 4 hours. And you have to be able to be so cool and have a positive attitude in explaining stuff, being
Yeah.
cool with the dog, being cool with the kids,
Yeah.
being respectful in private places.
Hmm.
And then I was constantly always asking, why? I was really bootstrapped with this franchise when I purchased it, meaning I didn't have a lot of revenue for marketing or whatever else, but I had pure grit, pure hustle,
Hmm.
and the US Navy trains us better than OSHA. Right? OSHA thinks they got something, but OSHA don't really have it like the Navy or the
Mm.
military does. Um, and so from that point, it was simple questions. Hey, how did you hear about us? We don't do a lot of advertising, right?
Right.
And it's like, oh, I saw you guys online, thought I'd try you out.
Mm.
Or in the beginning, it was, oh, I saw your Groupon, so I thought I'd, try you out, low price, whatever.
Right. Hmm.
And then it turned into, oh, I really liked the amount of reviews you guys had. And then it turned into, oh, I liked the reviews, and then I liked the pictures you posted. They tell the story, they were really good. I could kind of see what was happening. And then this carpet cleaning, upholstery, and tile and grout company was called OxyFresh. So this was 2010. The economic shift of the housing market decimated the whole California Central Valley,
I
right?
remember that. Yeah.
And in California, we were at a drought at the time. Now, thank God, we're full, max capacity on water.
Hmm.
But we only needed 2.5 gallons to clean a whole house, all the carpets, and it would dry in about an hour or so.
Hmm.
So then people would comment on, oh, I read about your content. And from that point, that helped me make a decision because your stuff is green, safe for kids and pets, and
Hmm.
everything else. And then I started hearing from folks about, oh, well, we we liked your website, we read your Google reviews, we looked at your Yelp stuff, uh, we went to the corporate website to make sure everything was good. Like, we looked at your LinkedIn, we looked at like everything, like full dossier on me, right?
Wow.
That's those type of people, right, Yaya? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
you,
You gotta be
you,
up. You gotta be up on your toes.
you got to be on your toes.
You gotta be
And,
on your toes.
so you got those folks who are just coming at you because of a coupon,
Mm-hmm.
be- because you have the most reviews,
Yeah.
because you got good pictures, you
Yeah.
got good content. And then, again, that fifth type of consumer, right? I call them the librarian, like the thumb, because that librarian who will research every scrap of DNA on you and your business and whether or not they want to work with you. Well, if you appeal to them, you'll appeal to all of the other types of consumers.
Wow.
And so, from all of this, and from being a franchisee, and then I became a consultant, and then during COVID, I got my real estate salesperson's license in California,
Mm-hmm.
and I got with a company that was doing business sales. So now I feel as though I'm strong enough to step forward to help the veteran community from startup to expansion to now succession.
Wow.
I know the whole game. And
Wow.
so
That is so cool. That is so cool. You know what? Thank you for your service, first of all.
you're welcome. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you.
It's
I
an
mean, I
honor.
know that, at any time you could be deployed, you can give your life.
Yep.
I didn't meet my grandfather. He died the year I was born,
Right.
in Vietnam. And so, I mean, think about it. I mean, we were on the tail end of Vietnam when we were being born,
Hmm.
and there's a lot of people we probably never met that we could have met that gave their lives. And I'm glad you're here with us today, and that you are a girl dad, because that's important. It's important.
Thank you.
Um,
Thank you.
so being that, okay, so but wait, you took it one step further. You have Purpose and Precision Publishing Media LLC. So you didn't just stop at the book, which would be the 5 hidden consumer types, but you got a publishing company. Why did you do that?
So, chapter 2 of my book, um, is a way to make things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 1 is a mindset shift. I call it pier thinking, right? Just like a ship is tying up to a pier, you have to plan, then you implement, then you execute. And where most businesses and organizations fail, they don't review the progress.
Mm.
They don't review what worked, what didn't work, what could be better, who showed
Right.
up late. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Everything.
I do. I do. Yes, I
and
do. Yes.
and then chapter 2, I call it IID activity for imitate, innovate, then duplicate.
Mm.
So I copied what the other publishing companies were doing. Then I made it better for my own. And then I was able to duplicate and create mine. So then that way I could keep the intellectual property as
Mm.
well as the royalties for us instead of going to some other publishing company. And instead of getting the full rights and the everything for my book, which
Right.
anybody can do, why am I going to give 4 times of what should be coming out to an author to somebody else to do the same type of marketing that I'm already doing?
Exactly. That's why you have Purpose and Precision. Wow.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
So,
And I'm not to cut you off, but I tell this to all the fellow musicians as well, because writing is writing, whether it's in the musical form or whether it's in
mhm,
the literature form, or whether you're publishing a book or you're publishing an album.
yep.
Copyright, publishing is publishing. It's the
Hmm.
same. It's the
Yep.
same. So yeah, I commend you for that.
Thank you. And, I called it purpose and precision because ultimately, when you lead with purpose and then the US military brings that level of precision, well, then from that point, you can be candidly unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest component for me is that, candidly, I feel as though that veterans should be business owners,
Yeah.
because a lot of them do not have, well, let me rephrase that. A lot of them have a lot more experience in leadership as well as other skills than a standard employee,
Yeah.
because military individuals only make up 5 to 7% of the population.
Mm.
And so from that point, if a business owner, right, a veteran becomes a business owner, well, then they become even smaller percentage. But ultimately, that gives them purpose. And I
Yeah.
think that was my saving grace of, okay, Ralph, here's this franchise, sink or swim, buddy. What are you going to do? And there was a lot of days where I didn't know how I was going to feed my little girls and myself, but then God provides, and all of a sudden, people call, and then next thing you know, you're able to make it happen. I mean, just like being an entertainer, you don't know where gigs are going to come from, and then you get a call randomly, and you're like, "Oh yeah, we're going to do this," right?
Oh, money. Money.
Yeah,
Money's
exactly.
coming. I can pay my bills. Money. Yeah. I know how you
Right.
feel. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Stay tuned for part two, because we got part two coming up in a second. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Ralph, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. It's been an honor. It is an honor.
We've survived the butt whippings of our growth, and I think we have deserved to do the things we want to do in life.
100% agree, because that's what it's all about, right?
That's what it's all about. I want to thank you, Ralph. Thank you so much for being on the show, and nothing but success. Again, you guys, don't forget to go ahead and check out that book. It's Unlock the 5 Hidden Consumer Types and Skyrocket Your Business. 5 Hidden Consumer Types. You're going to go ahead and go to the website, and the website again is 5, the number 5, typesofconsumers.com. Thank you for watching.